Lads, lassies, welcome back to the YouTube, and today we're going to learn what is the easiest flip to do when you're at a wake park, and also how do you do it. Okay, so it is up for interpretation. However, when it comes to hitting a ramp, or what it's called in the industry as a kicker, there are one or two flips that are a lot easier. To begin with, many of us would think that actually flipping forwards is easier. However, on a kicker, in my opinion, it's 10 billion times harder. You're actually easier doing a backflip. So step number one is going to be to go to a swimming pool or to go to a trampoline and learn how to do a back somersault. The reason it's easier is the takeoff is actually easier, but also in a back somersault, you can constantly see your landing, which makes life so much easier. So the fundamentals you're going to need for this are to be able to hit the kickers heel side and toe side, be at a good level, you're able to obviously do all the corners quite well, your switch riding's good, then you're set up and you're ready to take on the first ever flip or the first ever invert. So, personally speaking, I think the toe side back roll or the front side back roll is by far the easiest flip to do on a kicker. So what you do is you want to start underneath the cable. Then as you approach the kicker, you want to take a nice steady edge. You can have two hands on or you can do it with one hand. It's up to you. As you get to the kicker, you definitely want to flatten off that edge. And at that point, I would advise taking your backhand off. Then as you ride to the top of the kicker, it's actually just like you would do on a trampoline or if you're backflipping off a wall. You want to take off flat on your feet. If anything, maybe slightly off your toes, but ideally completely flat because you are on a kicker, and when you hit a kicker, you want your board to be 100% flat. Now, as you get to the top of the kicker and you are pushing off, your front arm you ideally want kind of straight, you don't want it too bent in. Then as you take off, head straight back. A lot of people tend to go left or right. Particularly what happens is you'll see people, they'll look over their lead shoulder and they'll pull with this hand and then they'll do a 180. So it's really important as you take off, push up with your chest, arm straight, head straight back over. Then if you want to speed up the flip, you can pull your knees in. That will help you flip faster. If you're over flipping, you're coming around too quickly, then actually open up your body a little bit more. Then always on the landing, you want to bend your knees really heavily. In fact, one big tip I always say is there's a difference between knees bent and knees bending. You want them to absorb the landing. And most importantly, keep your head up and look to the shore. In fact, a good tip is on the approach, spot a tree or something over there, and then as you come out of the flip, look for that same tree or that same landmark. It's going to make a huge difference. Once you nail this, then there's no real reason that you can't do what's called a tantrum, which is actually a heel side or a backside back roll. So you approach the kicker again on your heels, or I suppose your backside facing it. You ride up the kicker flat, same thing with the takeoff. In fact, the flip is very similar, so you just follow those previous steps. So that, in my opinion, is the easiest flip to do. I know people might say a back roll or a front roll or a front flip or whatever it might be easier, but I think that's not only the easiest, but it's also the least scary, and most importantly, it's the least likely you are to get hurt. But obviously do it safely. Don't go outside your comfort zone too much. If you're not at the level, don't try it. And a really big tip is always wait till the top of the kicker, because that will obviously help you. You don't want to hit the thing. You want to wait till the top. Anyway, if you enjoyed this tutorial, then please make sure to subscribe. Let us know what tricks you'd like to see in the near future. But for now, that's it for me. We'll see you in the next one.